Hello and welcome to the return of Alltalk Watches Twin Peaks. This is episode 16 overall, but the second episode of the new season, where we are discussing episodes 3 and 4. I am Mr. X, and who else is here?
Hello, Kevin.
You know, my name is Totoro. I just kind of sit here as I was traveling across this great land, and I just saw how beautiful it was.
It's nice to see you again, Totoro.
Yes, it's very nice to be here.
May the road meet your wheels.
Man, the best cameo ever?
Possible cameo. We don't know. He could be in every episode.
Could be.
But we'll get to that in a minute. He's in episode 4. We're talking about Wally. Wally's best.
Episode 3. What the fuck happened in that first half hour? I still don't even know.
Well, there was an electrical outlet, it looked like. First it said 15, and then Lady with No Eyes was like, no, don't go near that. And then she went on the roof of this tin shack, which looks like it'll be a satellite or something, and then she flipped a switch, and then she went falling into nothing, and then he went back inside, and there was a new lady in there, and the electrical socket said 3 instead of 15.
I just don't know what happened. It's so confusing, that show.
Did I leave anything out, Totoro?
I don't know. See, that's the thing is when you finish up with some of this, and I swear for the next episode, I'm actually going to take notes, so that I can kind of try and get a better hold on it. Because
I'm pretty sure it said 15 and then 3, right?
Yeah, no, I remember. I think I remember that as well, because it definitely was like. I was sitting there trying to do the mental gymnastics. It's like, okay, 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 is significant because it's not really that significant. I have no fucking clue why that's significant.
His room number was 315.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
But this was 15-3. I don't know.
No one knows. Who knows?
Last episode had a tree with a tumor on it that was screaming at him.
Yeah,
And then he went through the electrical outlet, but he lost his shoes. He left his shoes behind. And then there was a second doppelganger.
Dougie Jones.
Dougie Jones.
Fake doppelganger.
No, it was
it was a
doppel.
Dougie Jones. Mr.
Dougie
Jackpots.
Jones. Mr. Jackpots. No. Dougie Jones.
He wasn't a doppelganger though, because he was a fake doppelganger. Because he
created
turned into a gold ball.
Yeah, that is true.
Dougie Jones.
When he started shrinking, he was like, well, that's weird. I mean, I think he was echoing the statements of everybody watching.
Dougie Jones. Mr. Jackpots.
Call for help.
Call for help, yeah.
Home. Red door.
Red door, yeah.
Coffee?
I was hoping that I was really hoping that when he got the coffee, that would somehow snap him out of it.
I was too, but then he took that big drink and it was hot, and then the expression on his face killed me. I was just laughing too hard.
So, and that was great where he was and there were people after Dougie Jones. I don't know what's up with those people, because when he gets out, when Coop takes his place,
there's a guy with the sniper rifle who's he's not in the car because he had dropped his key and was ducking to get it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like maybe he owed them money, and now Mr. Jackpots won all the money.
Oh, yeah. Naomi Watts is in this?
Yeah, Naomi Watts is this is enough money to pay them back.
Thank goodness for Mr. Jackpots. And then I was sitting there watching that, when we were sitting there watching that, the old woman who calls him Mr. Jackpots, I was like, well, that's Grandma Death, obviously.
Yeah.
So we've got our Venn diagram here for Twin Peaks and Donnie Darko.
And they started puking?
Cream
Mr.
corn.
Jackpots. Well, not Mr. Jackpots. Dougie Jones started puking.
Dougie Jones.
And Doppel Cooper started puking, only Doppel Cooper was keeping it in.
Well, for a little bit.
As much as he could. And the cream corn is supposed to represent or be human suffering or something, I've heard.
That's what
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, if you listen to the last episode of the regular Alltalk podcast, we kind of talk about it briefly, and then that's something that Darfox, or friend of the show, Darfox, admirer of Lucy.
Yes.
Darfox.
Lucy's #1 fan.
Lucy is bae. Pointed out like some things, especially related to like Fire Walk with Me, that I maybe it's been like long enough that since then, but he brought up this like cream corn,
Yeah,
being significant. So I don't know. We'll continue to see.
although I don't think Dougie Jones puked up the same thing.
It looked. There were definitely parts of it that looked like it had the same consistency.
Because the stuff that Doppelcooper puked up, the cops took one smell and it sent him to the hospital. And Jade, that was her name, right? Jade?
The African American hooker.
Yes. She was there. I was like, oh, did you get sick? And she didn't have to go to the hospital.
Well, that's true.
So it was different. Or maybe it wasn't as much because he wasn't evil like
Well, it wasn't.
Doppelcooper.
Well, and it wasn't like out in the middle of the hot desert sun.
Yeah.
So
true.
maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe it festers and something. I don't know. I don't want to really think about vomit.
I did like the reemergence of Cooper, how he came out of the electrical socket on that side, was just like laying there, just straight up.
With
next
no
to the
shoes.
puke, with no shoes.
Did you
What'd
forget
do
your
with
shoes?
This show.
And
Oh,
he has
man.
no idea who he is. He knows how to talk sometimes.
But only things he's heard. It's almost like he's parroting back. Call for help.
The
Huh?
coffee, though, seemed to get a reaction out of him.
Yeah, there was like a faint little glint of. Should we kind of explain exactly how all that went down? Where she takes him to the Silver Mustang.
Jade takes him to this casino. I assume they're in Las Vegas, right?
Or somewhere in Nevada.
Yeah, and then gives him $5 and says, "Here, go call for help." And then he goes inside, talks to the security guard. The first person he runs into says, "Call for help," and he says, "It's in the back." And he said, "Well, you're gonna need to get change." So he gets change, and then he starts going to these. He starts seeing these things floating above random slot machines.
Well, it looks like a little faint image of the Black Lodge, the inside of the Black Lodge.
So then he starts putting quarters, and everyone he puts in, he wins. He gets the name of Mr. Jackpots.
Yeah, from not Grandma Death.
Well, I mean, because I was thinking about it too. He did seem fairly out of it while he still was in the Black Lodge. Like, his mind was not there.
And what was he
Almost.
saying whenever he was putting a coin into this slot machine?
Hello. He was basically parroting what the old guy said.
Oh yeah, that's
when
right.
he
Yeah.
won.
Hello. I don't know, the sirens would go off.
Yeah.
That was so good.
How much do you think he won? Because pretty early on in the scene, he was up to like $20-something thousand.
Well, and that was only like after like 2 jackpots.
Yeah, so it had to be in the hundreds of thousands, if not close to $1 million.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I think at a certain point, they were like, "How many has he gotten?" He's like 28, and it's like 29, and you know they start incrementing it from time to time. That I was so convinced that they were like going to kick him out. The other thing is that so when he goes up to the security guard, and he's like, "Call for help," and I was certain that he was going to like call like an ambulance or something.
They were going to call for help.
Yeah, literally call for help. You know, like dial 911 or something. But
that's one thing I like about these episodes is that he is completely out of his mind and clearly in need of like medical assistance, and everyone is just like dealing with him, like as if it's normal. And then they're just like, "Is he okay?"
I feel like maybe that is not far from normal. I don't know.
Well, it was okay. So there's someone who recognizes him. I think because of his clothes. He's played by Ethan Suplee from
My Name is Earl.
My Name is Earl. He was Willem and Mallrats. So he's there and he's like, "Hey, Dougie," you know, and he starts chatting him up and stuff. And Ethan Suplee's wife in the show is like, you know, is the only person who's like, "I think there's something wrong with this guy," but like everyone else is like seems to be content to go along with whatever.
Well, Jade knew. She recognized it pretty quick, but she just wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah, she was like, man, I do not
When you
have.
call for help, I think you may have had a mild stroke.
Yeah, but yeah, which seems like really odd because I would understand if it was like, okay, if she's like a prostitute or an escort or something, she may not want to like out herself, but it seems like it's Nevada.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I feel like that was definitely Nevada for sure.
And they were in some house that was for sale. It was an empty house.
In Rancho Rosa, Double R.
So that's like right in the same neighborhood that he lives in, right?
No, it has a red door.
Yeah, his house has a red door. Maybe this was the next door.
What's
So
it?
at the
Lancelot
beginning
Court.
when Jade and him were in the house, and the real Dougie Jones. I say real, even though he wasn't real, because he melted and turned into a little metal gold ball. The show is great, by the way. So we haven't even mentioned anything else that's been happening.
Dougie Jones.
Dougie Jones.
Call for help.
Yeah, so Doppelcooper was found on the side of the road after he crashed his car
And he's
puked up.
stinky.
And yeah, he was sending people to the hospital. And then he was brought to prison because he had some stuff in his trunk. He had a gun, like a machine gun, a dog's arm, and what else?
I'm not
It was
sure.
all very
I don't remember
random.
The other. Yeah.
Yeah, so they call the FBI, and David Lynch shows up, and Miguel Ferrer, and new FBI lady.
And David Duchovny.
Yeah, before they go to see Coop, though, he has to have a conversation with David Duchovny, who is reprising his role from the original series. What do you think of that whole scene?
It seemed like they wanted to do a bit of fan service, but that was about it.
Yeah, that's what I took away from it.
Yeah,
too.
pretty much. Not necessary, but cool to have.
Because nothing really came out of that scene. Like, they went in and he was like, I'm concerned about you going off on a mission with this lady. He's like, no, you can trust me. And then he's like, oh, okay. That's pretty much what happened, right?
Kind
Yeah,
of.
pretty much.
I think they just wanted to have him in there for the sake of it. So then Doppelcooper started trying to act like the real Cooper. Gave him the thumbs up. Said it's good to see you, but they didn't buy it. Was there backwards speak in that scene? I've heard that there was a little bit of backwards speak in that scene.
If there
In
was,
the interrogation?
Yeah, well, not interrogation, but just when they were talking to him. I guess you can call it interrogation. But like, yeah, I heard I need to rewatch it because I've heard that instead of saying very, he said Erev, which is just
Interesting.
very
I did not
backwards.
catch that.
Not sure if that is true. That's just what I have been told.
I could see that. It was a very odd conversation.
It was.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I was glad that they didn't like take it. I was glad that Gordon didn't take it at face value.
Yeah, me too. And then they brought up David Bowie's character, right?
Well, yeah, he's been discussed a few times. Like he was name dropped in the first couple of episodes. That was Philip Jeffries.
Right. I kind of
Because
feel like David Bowie has to be in the show with as much as they're mentioning him.
well, and that's the thing that I like about what they're doing so far is that in the opening credits there are no actor names.
Yeah, I like that too.
So you don't realize that someone's gonna be in it until later.
Like, everyone.
Yeah,
James is always cool.
James was always cool.
Yeah, so they don't buy it, and then they send the new FBI agent lady away because she was wearing a wire that he told her to wear. Is it because they don't trust her?
Walking away.
Yes. Or maybe they don't want maybe whatever
they were going to
they don't.
discuss something like top secret that shouldn't be recorded.
Yeah, or maybe because it's definitely going to be entered into the record from the meeting that they had with not Cooper.
I like that scene though, how it was a play on the rest of the scenes, like how he turned his hearing aids all the way up, so they had to talk quiet.
Yeah, and even to the point that he couldn't shift around on the like shift his weight around on the gravel or on the pavement because it created too much noise.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's got to be an in-between where he should be able to hear fine, where people wouldn't have to scream.
Cossacks? No. This is South Dakota. They're in Russia.
What was
That part
in,
was great.
What was that in relation to?
She gets car sick.
Car sick. That's right.
Yeah, I know. Last recording of this, I said I didn't know how much comedy there was going to be because those first 2 episodes didn't have that much comedy. They brought back the comedy.
Yeah, they did.
Big time.
Dougie Jones and Wally.
Wally Brando.
Dougie Jones.
So good.
And Lucy and Andy.
Yep. Cell phones. How do they work?
I really
man.
liked that scene when she screamed and fainted.
Which, and I guess that was the other thing, is that they do go into the explanation of the 2 Sheriff Trumans.
Yeah, it's his brother.
And
I kind of wish the original would have come out of retirement just for this.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But I like this actor. I can't think of his name. I like him in
Forster.
his stuff. Yeah.
I can't remember if it's William or Bob or something like that.
Best known
Robert
for
Forster.
Being Peter Petrelli's dad in Heroes.
I mean,
Well,
he's had bigger
Jackie
roles
Brown.
than that.
He was he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Jackie Brown.
But he was Peter Petrelli's father in Heroes.
Yes, he was.
That is an actual fact.
He took away Peter's powers, so then Peter didn't have any powers anymore.
Okay, we're trying to talk about a good show here. Thank you very much.
What? And we're talking but much like Heroes, this starts out. The original run started out good, and then kind of went its own way. Didn't jump off the cliff.
I don't know, some of that
did.
James stuff was real bad.
Yeah.
But it righted the ship. So should
man.
we talk about... We've been kind of going back and forth between the 2 episodes.
Well, and that's kind of understandable to a degree because they do air like side by side. We're trying to... Sometimes it's easier to get the one through line, like for Cooper's stuff, because there's something going on with Cooper. There's like some other like tangential FBI stuff, and then there's the stuff going on in Twin Peaks. They didn't really go back to the.
They went back to the doctor for a scene where he was painting shovels gold.
Yeah, Dr. Jacoby, the shovels that he got in the first episode, like at the very beginning of the first episode, he was painting them gold, which I have to think my wife was pointing out to me. It's like he's probably got some side hustle or something he's doing for like groundbreakings.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's going to be like a groundbreaking shovel, and they're going to announce something.
Well,
where the old lumber mill used to be. Well,
so you remember when they were going to it was a major plot point in I think the 2nd season of the original show, where they're going to do the Ghostwood development.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that could be kind of wrapping back around to that.
You think Billy Zane's coming back?
Who knows?
Hey, if he came back, it'd have to be in a Billy Zane-y kind of way.
I mean, Billy Zane's a cool guy.
But not as cool as James.
No one's as cool as James.
Oh,
James is always cool.
Yeah.
Oh, the part... Wait, does it have something to do with the chocolate egg?
Oh, yeah. The bunny.
No.
The bunny. The bunny.
Or bunny, yeah, sorry.
This doesn't have anything to do with the chocolate bunny. Does this have something to do with the chocolate bunny?
I don't know.
No.
Would you like another chocolate bunny? I can get you another chocolate bunny.
I don't remember Hawk being like funny like that.
Well, I think the whole or like my headcanon is that the whole experience of everything that happened with Cooper, he tries to constantly reevaluate things like as things are happening.
I kind of remember him being like the straight man on the show. Like he was serious.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Oh, I liked when Truman went to the sheriff's office and then he walked into the back where all the real cops were.
Yeah, is because there were like originally it was just
It was Andy and the sheriff,
and
Lucy
and,
and Hawk.
and Hawk. Yeah. Well, and the other thing was that they kind of, there were these other cops there, and I was like, because if you think about it, if it's a town of 51,000, there have to be, a ton of other cops there. So I'm glad they did that for the sake of that. But
well, the original sign said like 3,000, right?
No, I think it's always said 51,000.
Okay, I could have sworn it was real low at first.
Because it was supposed to be like 5,000, be a kind of a really small town, but they messed up. But then the fact that Bobby Briggs is now a sheriff's deputy, and he has a very James Hurley like performance near the end there, where they have everything out, and he walks in and he sees a picture of Laura, and he starts crying, and it looks so
Over
bad.
The top.
Yes.
Yeah, that part I was, and because they had him do it for so long, I was like, this is looking worse the longer it goes, because it's just so over the top.
I think it was intentional though.
Well, it was one of those things where I saw that and I was like, oh yes, I remember now. This is supposed to be kind of like a soap opera.
Yeah, it's a parody of a soap opera. And Laura's mom was in an episode, right?
She was in, I think that was at the end of the second episode. Where she was watching like
some animal show.
Yeah, the Animal Planet or something.
Yeah, that's right.
But there was like, as far as I can tell, there was nothing about that seemed like odd. It was just like, here she is.
I mean, it's weird
something will happen. There's always something.
It's weird that Bobby Briggs is a sheriff's deputy.
Well,
considering he was like a drug dealer and murderer.
Turn his life around, man.
Well, and after his father disappeared.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess he got away with the murder. But I'm suspecting he's still up to no good. I think he's a dirty cop.
Well, he did not learn how to cry in the intervening 25 years.
That's true. But remember how they were talking about one of the students overdosed? Like, we don't know how they got him. If they went through over here, we would have caught him on camera. I'm thinking Bobby Briggs knows where the cameras are, so he's getting him around the cameras.
I did actually have that thought as well.
Oh, wasn't going back a little bit to that lady with no eyes to the lady with eyes in the very first scene of the third episode?
Oh, yeah. With all the gifts they put in?
The lady with the eyes. That was someone from the original show, right?
Was it?
I've heard, I didn't verify this, but wasn't it the girl that was with Laura Palmer when she died?
Oh,
or the night that she died?
You mean oh shoot, I know who you mean. Hold on a second, I'm looking for it. And I know who you're talking about. The other girl who was the one who escaped.
Ronette Pulaski?
Yes.
Was that her?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious though.
I think it is. I'm on IMDb and it says the actress was in Twin Peaks Part 3 playing American Girl. So what does it mean?
I don't know, man.
All right, we should move on to the fourth episode. So I think we need to talk about Wally now.
Do we need to talk about Wally now? I feel like there needs to be some gravity to the situation.
He needs to pay respects to his godfather.
Yeah, yes, it's very much so. Yeah, the look of Wally, who is the son of Andy and Lucy, is very like, I'm trying to remember exactly which Brando movie it was, but I
think it's On the Waterfront.
No, I don't think so. Here, let me vamp for a minute and I'll find exactly what I'm thinking about. Because he was a dock worker On the Waterfront.
That's true.
I feel like there was one called like The Defiant Ones or The Wild One.
That's it.
Yeah, it's very...
He's got the same hat on. It's tilted to the side. And the jacket says Wally.
Instead of Johnny. Yeah, so it's The Wild One. I was going to say, I knew it was one of those early early biker movie ones. I think I've seen it before, but
Okay, so Wally is the son of Andy and Lucy.
and
He was mentioned in the first episode, briefly. He shows up, they say he's outside, and it's Michael Cera doing a Marlon Brando impression. A very bad one.
What do you mean a bad one? They were fantastic.
I mean, it was great, but it wasn't a good impression.
I was amazed at how long that actually went on.
It was like a 5-minute scene. And the sheriff just wanted to get out of there the whole time. He was like very uncomfortable, just wanting to leave.
No, in my mind, it was more of a, here we go with this shit again.
I also want to let my parents know they can turn my childhood bedroom into a study.
It was amazing.
It was nuts. It was.
My dharma is the road. Your dharma is. You can't see it, but I waved to like motion everything around you. That scene killed me.
For good reason.
Yeah. I hope he shows up in every episode, but as of right now, they're just calling it a cameo.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna show up again. I wouldn't expect him to.
Well, there's 14 more episodes.
That is true. I still can't even believe it. Well, I can, because who knows what the hell is going on right now, so.
What if at the end of these 14 episodes, it ends with a cliffhanger?
No.
Oh.
It better not. It better not.
I think that it's going to end with someone else saying, "How's Annie?"
How is
Or
it?
Annie saying, "How's Coop?"
So, who were they talking about? Speaking of Annie, because that's who popped into my mind at the end of the other episode. Where like, do you know where she is? I know where she drinks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking Annie.
I hope so.
I have no idea if she's in the show, but I was thinking Annie.
Did anyone know Michael Cera was in the show? Or did Kevin?
I didn't.
There's a big long list of actors.
Well, don't tell me.
Well, so
Yeah, I don't want to know.
So on April 25th, 2016, the entire cast was revealed, consisting of 217 members.
That's a big cast.
That is a big cast.
Well, the only other person I was thinking besides Annie was Audrey.
Yeah, I can see that.
Wonder if we see Audrey and she's just all scarred from the bank explosion. They could have recast Audrey because she could have just the bank explosion would have caused her to have plastic surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Do you want me to confirm or deny that Sherilyn Fenn is in it?
Do not say anything.
Okay.
I'm guessing she is.
As the once great old man Gandalf said, keep it secret, keep it safe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a wizard is never late.
I thought you were going to say you shall not pass.
I thought you were going to say damn full of a took.
No. So, do you guys have any guesses as to who the military dead man may be that they don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Wait, which military dead man?
The one in South Dakota?
Yeah, so that was like the only hit back to South Dakota that they had these two episodes. My best guess is that it's Major Briggs.
Well, I thought they said that he died earlier.
Well, I thought he just disappeared.
Said Cooper was the last one to see him alive, and then there was an explosion? I thought Bobby said something about explosion. I could be mistaken about that.
Fire. I thought it was a fire.
Yeah, it could be a fire.
So, but that would have happened a long time back, though.
I can confirm that actor will not be on the show, though.
Well, no, yeah, he has since passed.
Yeah.
Like, back in the 90s, I think.
No.
Oh.
It's 2000s, because he was on Stargate SG-1 for a long time.
Oh.
He was General Hammond.
Because that when they were like, oh, you need the military clearance, nothing came to mind as to who it could be. For me, anyway.
Could it be one of the characters from Twin Peaks to join the military?
No.
And then they moved up the ranks in the 25 years since that has passed?
No.
I mean, that gum you like came back in style.
Also, did you guys understand everything that was laid out in the table in front of David Lynch?
Which table?
There was like 2 pictures of the bikini girls, the gun.
Oh, yeah.
I have no clue what that was about.
It was
a clue
about another murder case that they were working on. I don't think it had anything to do with what's happening on the show.
No, okay.
Because he read the note saying that there was a guy who didn't want to, he confessed to it. No, he knew the identity of a murderer, but he couldn't say because it was top secret. And these are the clues that will lead you to the identity.
It's nuts.
I think that was it, right?
Yeah.
It was just a random assortment of items.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much. But I was looking at it and I was like, could that be something? Like, what's that?
And then Doppelcooper had a random assortment of items in his trunk.
Did he? No.
Well, wait.
Wait, that Doppelcoop. For a second, I was thinking of fake Doppelcoop. I was going to say his car just... yes, Dougie Jones.
Maybe
all
that
they did
case
was
is
put a bomb
tied
on
in.
his car.
Maybe that case is tied in.
Mr. Deckbutts.
Because there's a military man that was killed, right? And it's top secret?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean...
And they were saying that there's a murderer, but they couldn't say who it was because it's classified or something. So here's clues.
Yeah, but he told us to go dig up the flowers in his yard in Georgetown, and these are clues as to who the murderer is, or something like that.
Yeah, I think I'm getting the impression that we might be looking too deep into things,
Well, it is the Twin Peaks way.
or we're not looking deep enough.
Hold on, let me drop some acid. Watch these episodes again, and I'm pretty sure I could figure all of it out.
I think you need to watch them backwards.
Not a bad idea.
I think we covered everything, right?
I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah.
This week, are they airing 2 episodes again, or is it just 1?
No, just 1. I think it's going to be 1 week until the last week, and then they're going to do 2 again.
Yeah,
Alright,
I
sense.
believe that's what I saw as well.
All right, I'm gonna wrap up. Hey, thanks for listening. If you like this and you are watching on YouTube, give it a subscribe and leave some comments if you're watching on YouTube. We'll answer questions if we can. I also listen to the Alltalk podcast and the Geekbox and the Comedy Button and Comic Conspiracy. And subscribe to Totoro's Twitch channel so you can watch him play some video games. That's twitch.tv/TotoroGB1.
Yep, TOTOROGB1.
Yeah, do that. And if you're on the podcast, listening to this on podcast form, you can go onto YouTube at youtube.com/alltalkpodcast. I think that wraps everything up. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Some ideas, like men, jump up and say hello. They introduce themselves, these ideas, with words. Are they words? These ideas speak so strangely. All that we see in this world is based on someone's ideas. Some ideas are destructive. Some are constructive. Some ideas can arrive in the form of a dream. I can say it again. Some ideas arrive in the form of a dream.